So,
so you're saying if a lady right now wants to get her ass fixed, I don't know what they call it.
Asset fixed.
You're saying she's right now, before she gets it, you're saying she's going to say, oh my gosh, once I get this, I'm just going to be happy. But you're saying most of the time when they get it, once they do get it, now it's still not enough. Now they need something else.
Yeah. So there's a African-American saying that says, if there is no enemy inside, then no enemy outside can hurt you. So let's take the woman with the asset. Okay. So she wants to be attractive. She wants people to say, you're hot. And she thinks that the reason why people don't say that is because she has a flat asset. Okay. So then she thinks, if I get a nice asset, then I'll get that kind of attention that will make me feel like I am important. So I'm saying to that woman, you cannot ever get anyone to give you the importance that you want until you give that importance to yourself.
Love it.
Okay.
All right. So now I think we started it off prepping them about it, and then we took it away from them. So
you took it away.
All right. So let's get into this 21-day fast from complaining. We're very familiar with a 30-day mental fast.
Yes.
And in our 30-day mental fast, we do not include specifically, we don't add anything about not complaining. So I know a lot of us are going to love this part right here. So a 21-day fast from complaining. How does that work?
So a speaker, Edwene Gaines, came to Agape International Spiritual Center in 2011, and she got on stage and said, if you want spiritual transcendence, if you want to get to a higher plane, stop complaining for 21 days. And I love a challenge. So I began to try, and it was so interesting. It's like, wow, this is not easy. I mean, our whole society is based on complaining. Now, you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because you don't shit on yourself and you don't yell at yourself when you are complaining, because we're human beings who are built to look at what is wrong. So, when people say quit being so critical, it's in our wiring. So in the old days, if there was a woolly mammoth coming, you want to be able to see what's different, what's wrong with this situation, so you can protect your asset, right? So we're trained to look at what's wrong. So that part of it is normal. But then to make a judgment that it's bad, that is a discipline that we have to get out of. So we notice differences, and then we go from the difference to the difference is bad. That's where complaining comes from, right? So it's just a day, right? It's a cloudy day, right? That's the fact. It's a cloudy day, but we got to go, oh, it's a cloudy day. And it's like, what, you want a sunny day every day? I mean, it's sunny somewhere, right? You go to a shop. Well, you don't go to a shop now, but in the old days, BC 19 is what I call the days before COVID-19. So BC 19, every store you go to, you'll hear someone complaining. There's not 1 second that you will not. So complaining is like a national pastime. So what it does is it takes the difference, it makes a value judgment on it that it's negative. And then that vibration of complaining is the same low vibration that worrying, fear, all of those are low vibrating energy that, number one, takes the entire planet down. Number two, it takes you down, because negative energy takes up more space than positive energy. If you're complaining, you are not being creative. Do you want to be creative? Do you want to have ideas that hit billions? Do you want to have ideas that make your life more enjoyable? Do you want to be able to be in the middle of a good laugh or a good inspiration? It's like a spiritual orgasm. I love when I get inspired to write or design or create. I mean, that feeling of flow, the athletes in the zone, that's accessible to us 88% of the time. Most of the planet's not in that space 12% of the time. And therefore we have drawn to us, law of attraction, another teacher, Abrahamic, has drawn to us, we're Debbie Downers every day. So I'm not surprised when crap happens because we're all focused. We've abdicated our attention and our focus to whoever is telling us the news. And we're both media, so I'm not criticizing all media. However, and it's not media's fault, it has become a weapon of mass distraction. That's from Michael Bernard Beckwith, because we think that we can't think for ourselves. So what do? We get up, we turn on the news. The news hijacks us with, if it bleeds, it leads. And then we're like, oh no. And then no wonder you go to the fridge, you go to the liquor cabinet, you pop something. It's like, I don't want to have to deal with this. So we've trained ourselves, and I'm just praying, the good news, the silver lining in COVID is, with all the stuff coming out, I just wrote an article called, Be Your Own Spin Doctor. You can't handle the truth. What is the truth these days? Did China do it? Is the government running it by fear? Is the numbers in the hospitals inflated? Is it deflated? Is it, all of this coming at us? Just stop reading and then commenting and then calling and then talking and blaming and shaming and discriminating and prejudice. I mean, stop it. Just take a breath. I have to do it to myself. And it just takes 3 breaths and say, is this thought that I'm having, is this action that I'm doing, is it going to make me feel better or worse in the short run and the long run? Is it good for us? Is it good for me? Or is it not? And that is part of the 21-day fast from complaining. Is every single day I give you a tip on, do you want to choose to complain today? And I made a little game. There was an app. I had this high school student, but I have too many things going on. So we let the app go, but we may research it. Maybe it'll be a project for us. Nice. The 21-day fast from complaining. Every single day, it's like a game. So if you complain, it's logged in, and you try to do, there's 3 people who have been on this fast, Eva, Daia, and Janina, who Kentucky, Japan, and Long Beach, who have managed 21 consecutive days without complaining. And if you complain on day 3, it doesn't mean that you don't get day 3. You just start over at day 1. So every day that you complain, you just start over at day 1, and you see how long it takes you to get 21 consecutive days. I have people who are on year 3 and they make it almost day 18, and then they have to go back to 1. But the point is that you're trying to really make it part of your life habit to not complain. And the number one way to not complain is to shut the front door. I mean, just really, that's day 1 is just shut the front door. The BS, the belief system that everybody's got to know what's on your mind is BS. Nobody needs to know what you're thinking. You have 50,000 weird thoughts every day. You really don't need to share them.
All right. Okay? So just for clarity on this complaining, you gave the example of a cloudy day. So I just want to be clear. So you're saying it's not complaining. Well, are you saying it's not complaining to say, hey, it's a cloudy day, as opposed what complaining is, wow, it's a cloudy day. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? This is just dragging the cloudy day on. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Well, it's the tone, pitch, and volume. It's a cloudy day. It is a cloudy day, right? Or it's a cloudy day. Right? I said the same words, different tone, right? So it's the same, like, you look good, or you look good.
Okay. That was good. I get it now.
You get it?
Yeah, I get it.
So it's all in your feeling tone. Now, some people have said to me that, what about when you think criticism thoughts or negative thoughts? Does that count against you? That's way advanced. Let's just worry about what comes out of our mouths. I don't think it's possible to not have a complaining thought in your head. So, we're humans. Let's give ourselves a break, but we're humankind. So let's develop the habit. So the habit that the day 3, that's the most powerful tool in the fast, is take a bite of my gratitude sandwich. You cannot complain and be grateful at the same time. Not possible. So I have all of my clients get up in the morning, first thing they do before they turn on the news, before they grab their phone, before they do anything, before even they brush their teeth. On the way to the bathroom, what am I grateful for? I'm grateful that we have toothpaste. Can you imagine a world where we didn't have toothpaste? I'm grateful for my coffee in the morning. I'm grateful that I have clothes in my closet. I'm grateful that I have an amazing, wonderful bed that I love so much to sleep in. I'm grateful that I have a car in the garage. I'm grateful that I have the attitude I do because it makes me feel better. I'm grateful that my daughter graduated at Cornell this weekend, even though there's no graduation ceremony. I'm making her dinner tonight. Thank you. I'm grateful that, I have love in my life, starting with love for myself. Right? 88% of the time. So that's 8 things. It took me less than 10 seconds to say, and y'all can do that too. That's the top of the bun. That's the top of the gratitude sandwich. Now, here's the trick. A lot of people, so Dr. Wayne Dyer said 5 things in the morning. I'm an overachiever, and 8 is a lucky number in Chinese. I know you thought I was Swedish, but I'm actually Chinese, and 8 is a homonym. 8 is a homonym for good fortune. So I want 8 in the morning. And then here's the trick. At the end of the day, if I can go to bed not thinking about what didn't I get done, who said what to who, what do I still have to do, when is this going to be over, why are they like that, why did they say that, no wonder you can't sleep. And then we have an issue with people on sleep medication that has side effects that are even worse than not sleeping. So instead, I promise you, if you do this every night in less than 21 days, you will sleep like that. So the last thing is 8 things that you appreciate about yourself. Now, this has nothing to do with your asset or the size of your asset, but people have also forgotten who they are. We are loving, we're caring, we're kind, we're generous, we're creative, we are resilient, we're innovative, we're musicians, we're artists, we're creators. There's 8 things about you that if you can't list them off the way I just did, time to do the exercises in my book, because it helps you hone into. You may be defining yourself. I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a teacher, I'm a supervisor, whatever you are, but those are roles that you have. That's not who you really are. At the core of who you are you? Because if you just define yourself in the role of who you are, you're going to be exhausted. And that's what we were doing BC 19. Who are you? I am a podcast host. I am this. And then so my measure of worth comes to, well, how good did the show go to? Right? Right. And you're only as good as your last show.
Yeah.
Right. I've strung together 421 consecutive weeks on the air, on camera. That's a long freaking time. Do I pat myself on the back for the majority of them going really, really well and people loving them? Or do I focus on the 1 or 2 negative comments on YouTube that people put on about the show, about the host talking too much? Well, I'm a perfectionist, and I create my own dis-ease with my life by choosing to focus on the negative comments instead of taking myself 88,000 foot up and going, in the scheme of things, it's amazing. you know, good for you. I'm so proud of you. That's the kind of self-talk. That's the kind of self-soothing that will get your